Crafts. So glad you're joining me for another Inspiration Friday. So this week, I picked up some items at the Target dollar spot. Have you guys ever seen that? You walk right into Target and they've got some really cute items. So stay tuned. I can't wait for you to see this cute project. And guess what, you guys? It's a dual season project. So stay tuned and we will get making. But first, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I so appreciate it. And hey, if you're new, make sure you click on the subscribe button down below and click on that bell, and YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. I try to do it every Friday. That's why we call it Inspiration Friday. So give me a second. I'm gonna get my camera angle changed and we are gonna get making some really cute decorative items that I picked up the supplies at the Target dollar spot. Give me a second. Let's get making. Okay, crafters, so this project, I am going to use these cute little houses that I picked up at Target at their dollar spot. So 3 packwood houses, and they've got a lot of their fall things out. And so I thought it would be really cute to put together a design. I also have all kinds of Scrabble pieces. Whenever we go garage sailing, I always look in the games, or if we're at a thrift store, and it's amazing how many Scrabble boxes I can find. So I've got all kinds of Scrabble, so I thought I'd put that to use. And I had some really cute fabric, so I'm gonna pull some fabric into this. And I did a print of some whitewashed wood. So I'm gonna combine all that together and we are gonna make dual season houses. So the first side I'm gonna do is gonna be kind of a fall theme, and then you would be able to flip it over when winter time comes and you've got a decoration piece that fits for both seasons. I did one earlier that's got Home Sweet Home on it, and I'll definitely show you guys pictures of that. But let's go ahead and just get started on this one. So when I was looking at this fabric and I had it in my stash, I thought it was so pretty, but it's really thin. If I unwrap it all the way here, you guys will see that it's very much a see-through type fabric. So I thought it would be fun to give my houses a coat of paint first. And I had on hand this antique gold, and it's a metallic acrylic. And so we're gonna go ahead and start with that. So let me just grab over my used paint tray here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on. And I'm just using a foam brush, you guys. I'm just giving this a quick coat. Okay, I just want my wood to have a little bit of a background color to it, especially since that fabric is see-through. Now on the other side of the houses, I'm actually going to do the paper, and so I'm not going to need to paint it, okay? And this metallic is actually showing up like a really nice wood grain. So I'm going to go ahead and do the sides of the house. I love this these houses because they've got a thickness to them, and they're going to stand up really nice as a display piece. So it's been really fun lately going to Target because they've just got some of the cutest little wood pieces. So I'm just going to go around and give this a good paint. My foam brush doesn't quite want to get in all the way around that chimney. And you know what? I'm just going to give that chimney a little brush. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and paint all of these, and then as soon as I get them painted, I will be back and we will add on our first side, whoops, which is going to be our fall side. Okay, so give me a second, I'll get the other ones painted and we will get to work. Okay, so we're just about dry. This one's a little bit still wet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I wanna show you guys what I'm gonna do with the fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm unrolling my fabric, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I am going to find where I kind of want. See how cute that's going to be on those? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take and lay it right on there. And then I'm just going to take my, sorry you guys, I'm on a camera angle there. I'm just going to take my pencil, okay, and I'm going to do an outline, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll cut out that fabric, okay? So I am cutting with fabric, so I'm going to use my fabric scissors. I have a little tip that I use in my craft room, and that is my my sewing scissors only can be used for fabric. So a trick that I have done is I have got a ribbon on my scissors. So that way, for me and anybody else that's in my craft room knows that these are only to be used for fabric. Because I don't know about you guys, but sewing scissors are very expensive and you want them to be sharp. And the way they dull so easy is if you cut them with anything but fabric. Okay, so look at that. I'm going to add that, and that is just going to be so cute on that wood. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones, and we'll get those all done, and then I'm going to add those on with some Mod Podge. Okay, so now we've got those all ready to go, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I am just using matte Mod Podge, okay? And I'm just going to put a coat, and you guys, most of you I'm sure have used Mod Podge before, but it dries clear, okay? So I'm just going to put a coat on just so I can get my fabric to stay. Then we're gonna, I thought it would be fun to do fabric on one side and paper on the other, just to show you guys a couple different options of what we could do here. Okay, and I'm just gonna put that on. Okay, and we'll be able to trim it once it's all dry. But isn't that cute? You can kind of see the leaves showing out a little bit there. I didn't have to give it that paint on the, the back side, but I just thought it gave it a little bit more color, and that's why I wanted to do it. And it is hanging over the edges just a little bit, but that's going to be perfectly fine. We're going to be able to take care of that when we're going to distress the edges a little bit, and then we're also going to sand them. So the combination of that is going to take care of your edges. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And then what we're going to do, you guys, is we're going to go ahead and flip it over, and I'm going to do the back side while this side dries. Okay, since it's on the fabric, I think we'll be just fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our Mod Podge off to the side. I'm going to flip these guys over, okay? And what we're going to do, and you see some of that paint came through, that's no problem. What we're going to do is we are going to trace out these on this paper. Now the paper, I actually printed this off of Canva. I wanted something, I didn't have any cardstock on. Cardstock would definitely work for this too. I didn't have any cardstock, and I thought it would be cute to have some houses that look like they were that whitewashed paint, like an older type house. So that's why I decided to do that. So I just went into Canva and selected a whitewashed wood, and I put that in. Okay, so all I'm doing is doing basically the same thing as we did before, but with paper. Okay, my fabric is getting in the way a little bit, so we'll see how good that does. Okay, and as I said, I'm not going to be using my fabric this time. I am going to be using my paper scissors. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that. And again, if you're a little bit bigger, bigger is better than smaller, because again, we're going to use our sanding blocks to be able to finish the edges. So again, just another idea to give you guys on what you can do to dress up just some plain wood. And you know what I like about this project is it's dual season, right? So and when I say dual season, I think of this whitewash. I don't know why, it just reminds me of winter time, right? And so that's why I thought this one would be a cute one. Now the other one that I had made, I actually did a kind of a winter theme with snowmen on it. So I'll make sure I show that one to you guys also. This one's a little bit harder to see when I did my tracing, but I think I can make it out. And if it's not perfect, like I said, you guys, I will just sand it off after we get the Mod Podge on. Okay. So I'm just trimming this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing that we did with the other one. I'm going to apply some Mod Podge. Okay. So let's flip these over and let's do the same thing. Add some Mod Podge, okay? And that paint is not going to make any difference whatsoever at all, because these houses are going to cover all the way. Plus, like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of distressing on the edges, okay? So there we go. I'm just making sure I don't have any bubbles. Okay, so I got that one on. And we'll go ahead and add this one on. Sorry, you guys probably hear that background noise. My puppy's been laying out in the sunshine and just decided to come into my craft room and is drinking water like crazy. So you can probably hear my Zoe girl drinking lots of water over there. So okay, so now what we're going to do, you guys, is I'm going to let this, well, we'll check the other side. I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll move on to our next steps. Okay, so right now we've got one side that's got the leaves, and we got another side that's got that whitewash finish. Okay, so while those are drying, I want to show you what I came up with for my sayings. This was lots of fun. So I went and grabbed my some of my Scrabbles, right? And I thought that I would do something like a home and then a suite. Okay. And then I wanted to add a little bit of difference to I started out with just going to do home, right? And then I thought, you know what, I want to do a little difference there. So flipping that one over is what my thought is. And I had a whole bunch of little letters that, again, I picked up on a garage sale. And I thought it just added a little bit to do something different with that one. And then I had some of these metal, and this one says Cherish. I just thought it was so cute. I had an old button that I actually cut off the back of it. Okay, and I'm just going to hook that to the top, and I'm going to put that to the top of one of the houses. Not sure if it's going to be, probably on the tall one, just to add a little bit to it. Okay, this one's actually going to be for this side because I thought the yellow was really cute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we're just about ready. Okay, I'm going to grab my glue gun, and we are going to start adding these on to our cute little houses. Once everything's totally dry, we'll finish off those edges, but we can start putting on our home sweet home right now. So I'm going to grab my glue gun, okay, and I am just going to start adding my letters, okay. Now, one thing I would tell you is I always start with the first letter, okay, and then depending, I mean, I could put it straight across. I'm going to put it at a diagonal, but I like to put the second letter, or excuse me, the last letter second, okay, because that helps me get my spacing right. Okay, so now I can kind of get an eyeball and see how I want home to be. The other two letters to finish off our word, okay? So I'll tell you guys, anytime you're thrift storing or at garage sales, if you ever see Scrabble, I definitely recommend you pick it up. Because there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do with Scrabble letters. So this is just one idea. So again, I'm doing that first letter and I'm doing the last letter. So I know I've got and I'm just eyeballing you guys. They're probably not exactly straight. Okay, then I can kind of lay these in here and see how spaced apart I can go with them. Okay, perfect. I'm going to add my sweet on there. Okay. Okay, so there's my home sweet. And now let's do this last one. Now this one, I'm going to put my little O on first. Whoops. Actually, I'm just going to put a dot on. And remember, all I did is turn my tile upside down. Okay. And I'm just going to put that O on there. Like I say, I could have done that with this one too. I just decided to do it a little bit different. Okay. And we'll do the same thing. I'm going to do home. Come all the way down here. Do my end. Okay. Do my home there, or my M, and then add my O in. Okay, how cute is that, you guys? So there's our home sweet home. So let's add our cherish. So I'm going to do a little dot on the back of the button. Oops, more than a little dot, Lisa. Okay. And I don't know, I think I'm going to put it on the middle one. And actually, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely like that, you guys. Okay. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my sanding block. I think I'm in a pretty good condition to be able to sand off some of this excess. So you can see here that some of my fabric is hanging off. Okay, and so I'm just going to give it a sand. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side. Now the fabric's a little bit different than paper is. Okay. And some of those threads might need to rub it a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to take my little scissors and I'm just going to go through here and trim it up. Okay. Okay, but let's go ahead, the wood side. The wood side works a little bit different because the wood side, if I just pull it down, see how that paper is just pulling off. So the wood side definitely works better with the sanding block to give it that nice finished look. So we can turn those right upside down. I'm just going to go ahead and not do the sanding with the material. Yeah, that definitely works a little bit better. This material's got such thin fibers that it was just splitting. And I'm wondering, I'm going to try one other idea here. Oh yeah, look at that. Cricut knife works great, you guys. So a couple different options on how you could trim off that excess fabric. Okay. So I got a little bit more up here. Definitely works better. I would definitely recommend with the paper, the sanding block works the best. This is a little bit trickier, but it's still going to work. And we're still going to distress the edges, so we're still good. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our sanding block and finish off the paper side. Yeah, that paper just comes off so nice with the sanding block. Okay, so that one's ready to go. This one hardly needs any sanding. Okay, it does need a little trimming. And I'm going to try something here, you guys. I can see where it needs to be trimmed when I've got it turned upside down, even a little bit better. So see, third time's the charm. I hadn't done it with fabric yet. I've done it with paper, but I hadn't done it with fabric. But when I saw this fabric in my stash, I knew I had to try it. Okay. Oops, it looks like we came off just a little bit there. Okay, I'm going to take my Mod Podge. I just pulled that back just a little bit too much, I think. Just going to add a little bit more Mod Podge there. Make sure that stays on good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get this stuff out of the way, and let's add our Home Sweet Home over here. So there we go, we've got Home Sweet Home, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my ink pad and we're gonna do a little bit around the edges. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead. Oops, I can see where I did not sand on this one. Okay, so let's see, I have got some coffee bean here that I'm going to try. And we're just going to go around the edges. Okay, just got a little, these are just like little makeup brushes, you guys, or applicators. And see how that just kind of finishes off the edge. You can even come back and wipe it off a little bit so it's not quite as bold. And I just think it gives a cute edge finish to it. Okay. So how cute. So I'll go ahead and do that on each one of these. And then what I'm going to do, you guys, is I was just trying to use what I have on hand. I didn't have any black, but I do have some silver. So I'm going to try silver on the other side, and hopefully it will look okay. If it doesn't, I can always cover it with some black or some gray when I get some. Just don't happen to have any on hand, and I was trying to do this with lots of stuff that I had on hand. Yeah, I just really like how that just really finishes those off. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this silver metallic. See what it looks like on the other side. Oh yeah, actually I think that blends in really nice, you guys. Look at that. It's just giving a tiny bit of dimension to the edges. Oops. Yeah, I think that silver is going to look really nice. And you guys, I told you earlier, whoops, wrong side, Lisa. I told you guys earlier how I loved a garage sale. These stamp pads I picked up on a garage sale too. So somebody was clearing out all their craft supplies, and I was able to pick up quite a bit. So that's why I was saying I was just trying to go with what I have on hand. And there we have it. So we've got our home, which I think is a little bit more of a winter, maybe even all year round, more kind of like a farmhouse theme. And then we've also got our home sweet home that is more of a fall theme. So I'll go ahead and put these on display, give you guys a close-up view of them, and I hope you enjoyed another Inspiration Friday. And here's a close-up view of those cute little dollar Target spot houses. The winter theme and then the fall theme. If you like this project, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for other DIY type projects, make sure you check out my blog at funstuffcrafts.com.